Hey friends, it's time for 5 Under 5, Spring Fling, Home Decor, and More Edition, hosted by Missy from Crafty Cove, Emily from Farm Charm Cheek, and guest host Mary Beth from MB Gray Designs. Links to hosts and playlists will be in the description box. To start this first DIY out, I have a small galvanized watering can I found after spring last year at Hobby Lobby. It was originally $2.99, but I got it for $1. A bit of spring greenery, some brown chocolate paint, and some gingham ribbon. So I'm going to start out by adding my brown chocolate paint to some spots on this watering can so it looks like it started to rust. Once my faux rust had dried, I added a bow with pink and white gingham ribbon from Dollar Tree, and then I hot glued a piece of styrofoam packaging inside the watering can to hold my florals, and then I added just a bit of Spanish moss just to give it a more finished look. I just love the way this turned out. It's really simple, but it's so cute. Just looks like a watering can that just started to rust over time from just being used so much in a garden. I just adore this. To start this DIY, I have a bundle of daffodils, a used clay pot, some black matte paint, and a stencil. So first I'm going to go ahead and cover my pot with the black matte folk art paint. And once my black matte paint dried, I applied my stencil and I used white transfer paste so that my image would really pop. And then I noticed that some of the black paint had lifted, but that's fine. It just gives it more of a worn, aged look, and it actually looks really nice like that. So then I just took some packaging styrofoam, added a bit of hot glue, and added that into the pot, and then inserted my daffodils and kind of pulled them apart so they looked a bit fuller. And I really like the contrast with the dark pot and the golden daffodils. And then just to top the pot off, I just added a bit of Spanish moss that I had left over from another project. Okay, and just as an added bonus, I did a video previously, but I'll show again, taking just 2 of the Dollar Tree beads in 2 different sizes. And if you can, try to find a darker one so it's easier to cover with the paint. But you just add a little glue, attach your smaller bead to the larger, and this will be the body of your bead. And then take just a little bit of lace. I pulled this from one of the rolls with the burlap ribbon that has the lace on top. You just give your lace just a little bit of a twist. And you add a little glue attach your lace. And you have a little bee. Now this isn't painted, but here's one that I did end up painting. And so I have a little bee that I can add into my daffodils. Okay, so for this galvanized tulip, I'm going to add some of these DollarTree stickers and just add Hello Spring. And I'm going to use this Avery glue stick to help my letters hold. Sometimes the DollarTree stickers don't always have the best hold, and this Avery glue stick is really good. And I added pink parfait, just the edge around the tulip, just to add just a bit of color rather than adding the brown to make it look rusted. Just a little pop of a bit of pink I thought would look really cute. And once the paint had dried, I have this pack of butterflies I found in the floral section at Dollar Tree last year, and so I just bent the wings up so it looked like it was about to take off, and pulled the little wire from the back and just hot glued that to the bottom of the tulip rather than to add a ribbon, a bow, just to make it a bit more spring-like and have a nice pretty butterfly. And then finally, I just took a little scrap piece of sandpaper. I think it was like 120 grit, and I just scraped off some of that pink paint just to give it just a more worn look. And then I reattached the little hanging rope, and that was it for my Hello Spring tulip. I'm starting this DIY out with a rubber bead toy I found in the toy aisle at Dollar Tree last year. It's a really nice size, and I'm going to cover this with pure gold from Folk Art. It's a pretty pliable little piece, but I think it would look really nice in a metallic finish, so I go ahead and I added 3 full coats of the pure gold. Once my paint had fully dried, I added a bit of gloss Mod Podge to seal my paint, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to paint the wings or not, so I wanted to add them back once the paint finished to see how I like them with the original translucent look, and it looked pretty cool with the translucent wings and the golden body, so I just went ahead and left the wings the way they were and just reattached them, and that was it for this DIY. For my final DIY, I'm using a ceramic bunny I found at Dollar Tree last spring. I'm covering this in a satin finish cottage white from Folk Art so it has a bright white appearance. And once my paint dries, I use pink and black paint markers to accentuate the nose and the mouth and the eyes. And for the inner ears, I use a bit of pink parfait paint from Folk Art. Once all my paint dried, I use a satin finish Mod Podge to cover the entire bunny to seal all the paint. While my Mod Podge was drying, I took some scrap pieces of eucalyptus and I wanted to glue them down into this cloche. I found this, I believe, 2 years ago at Dollar Tree. So I just added a bit of hot glue and I added 3 pieces of eucalyptus leaf to cover the bottom so it would be a nice little resting spot for my little bunny. And once all that satin Mod Podge dried, I added just a little bit of hot glue to help secure the bunny to the bottom. And then a few pieces of white larkspur, I believe is what this flower is called, just to add a little bit more of an embellishment to the side of the bunny. And here's a look back at my other 5 under 5 spring decor projects. I hope you enjoyed my video today. Please enjoy the playlist. The link will be in the description box, and I hope you have a wonderful day.